older accounts open. Keep those open if you can. Then the younger accounts, if you have to close something, you done paying off that piece of furniture that you bought because you were moving in a new house, it's a newer account. So you did it, you got zero interest for, 12 months, 24 months, and now you've paid it off. If you want to, that's the better account to go ahead and close. And especially if you're not going back there necessarily anytime soon. So if you bought some furniture from XYZ Furniture Place, you only use them because of you want to buy this and now your house is furnished or whatever, then that's an account that you can close. Yes, will it hurt you a little bit? Possibly. It'll hurt you a little bit, but not as much if you close one of those older accounts that you have on your credit report. So make sure that you work around that. Another thing that you can do when it comes to your credit age that can help you out is my favorite thing. And when I say my favorite thing, you guys ought to be out there shouting. If you're listening, you know that it's becoming an authorized user. Becoming an authorized user will absolutely help you with your credit age if you become an authorized user on somebody's account that has a long history. I like to generally recommend 7 years. Now, if you're a client of mine and I'm looking at every single thing on your credit report and how we're going to move you along, I might say we need an account that is 10 years old, for you to help you move your credit age to make it longer, longer in the tooth. So go ahead and become an authorized user. You do not want to become an authorized user on somebody that has had a credit card for 3 years. That's not going to help you out that much at all. So you want to do it. You want to get the best benefit you can. So if you can get one that's over 7 years old, it has a large, and actually it doesn't have to be large. If it has a good size limit and a very low balance, that's going to help you out. So you want to be able to do that. Less than 30% on the balance, and you got a good limit, and it's been there a long time. You want to do that. That's going to absolutely help you with your credit age because you're going to get the benefit of the payment history. So, of course, the payment history got to be perfect, right? So you're going to get benefit of the whole payment history. That's going to help your credit score by 30%, right? Hopefully, it's going to help you with your debt utilization. We talked about you getting that card or becoming an authorized user, and it's under 30%. That's going to help you with your debt utilization, which is an additional 30%. Then, with your average length of history, which is 15% of your credit score, that's going to help you as well because you got one that's older than 7 years old. So let's add that up. You got 35 and 30. That's 65% plus 15% for your length of history. So you're looking at 80%. 80% by doing just this one thing on your credit report. That's going to help your score tremendously if you're able to do that. So that's what you want to do. You want to go ahead and do that as well when it comes down to your credit report and your credit score. Get those things done, and I tell you, your credit score is going to go up tremendously for you. All right, so look, we are past the 15-minute point. So let me jump into this the question of the day for you. And before I do, let me give a shout out. Shira Lampkin. Shira Lampkin, I'm telling you, if you got a task to complete, you got somebody that's going to get it done. Shira Lampkin, she gets it done. Happy birthday to you. Shira, she celebrated her birthday earlier this week. Leslie Baker Jr., an Omega Man, he celebrated a birthday earlier this week too. So happy birthday to you, Leslie. Happy birthday, man. Jerron Marquis. Talented artist, Jerron Marquis. He celebrated a birthday as well. Y'all check him out. Look him up on YouTube, and he's on Instagram and everywhere. He's got videos out of his songs. Y'all check Jerron Marquis out. And Bonnie Woodfork. Happy birthday to you, Bonnie, as well, a member of Sigma Gamma Rho. So happy birthday to you, Bonnie Woodfork. All right, so the question comes from Michael. I just talked to you guys about a Michael. That's why it was on my brain, it being spelled wrong on your credit report. So, Michael from Arkansas sent me a message through Instagram. So, you guys can contact me. I'm on Instagram as 800 Credit Score Man. You can catch me on Facebook, 800 Credit Score Man page. I'm going to suggest you join the Credit Score Comeback group as well on Facebook. So, you can catch me at those places for sure. You can catch me at those places. And on Twitter, at credit score _ man. I'm on Twitter. So catch me at any one of those. So Michael sent this through IG. He said, what's the best place to get a secured card? So that's a good question. Very good question. So if you're not familiar what a secured card is, basically the secured card is where you secure a credit card with your own money. So if you contact a place that offers secure card, you can get one as low as $200 as a balance. So you send them $200, and that's your limit. Some of the times they'll, make your limit actually $275, something like that. But you send them $200. You use the card. You use it just like a regular credit card. So if you use the card, you have a monthly payment. You make that monthly payment, and there it goes. Some places have this $200 is quote unquote a deposit, refundable. So it's a refundable deposit. You don't ever lose it. That's your money. You want to close it or whatever it is, which you don't want to do. We just talked about closing cards, but if you close it or whatever, you get your money back, right? So that's what a secure card is. So he says, what's the best place to get a secure card? Well, the first question I had, because if you're my client, I might, I get to look at all of your stuff, and, I'm going to recommend a secure card, or if I happen to recommend a secure card for you, then I've looked at your information. I don't know Michael that way. So I said, why a secure card? Like, what's your credit score? Maybe you can get a quote unquote regular credit card instead of having to get a secure card. But looks like Michael needs a secure card. And did I say Michael was from Arkansas? Yeah. Okay. So he needs a secure card. So if you need a secure card, frankly, what I told Michael was to sign up for Credit Karma, because I actually hate to go ahead and endorse somebody that doesn't endorse me. So if you're listening, Capital One, if you're listening, Credit Karma, anybody out there, you guys give me a shout. You can email me to 800@creditscoreman.com. I would gladly talk about how great you are on my show. If you want to sponsor it, I appreciate it. So let's get back to Michael. So what I said was, go to Credit Karma. If you go to creditkarma.com, if you're not signed up, if you are signed up and you've never bothered to look through all the tabs and stuff, there's a recommendations tab. It's right up top. They usually got like a like a 1 next to it in red, or a 2 or something, because they want you to go to these recommendations. This is part of how they get paid. If you go to the recommendations portion and you take one of their recommendations from their website. So I suggested that Michael go to their website, hit on the recommendations tab. In there, if you need a secure card, or if they think you can be approved for a regular credit card, then they'll give you options in there to do so. So it won't just be one option. Typically, it's 2 or 3, sometimes 4 options in there. Now, I'm not telling you guys to go and take every one of the options, because they offer everything. You guys know I have an over 800 credit score. They recommend all kind of crap to me all the time. They want me to do a debt consolidation loan. They want me to get another credit card, all this stuff. I don't need any of those things. I don't need those things. And you don't necessarily need them either. So you're looking out for your best interest and trying to increase your credit score. So take the things that you actually need. So I'm going to get off that part of that soapbox. So go in there, take a look. You will see that it'll have recommendations from Michael. I already followed up with Michael. He went, he signed up. He was not signed up with them. He signed up. He looked at his credit. He saw the recommendations tab. He hit on the recommendations tab. It gave him 3 options. 3 options for a secured card. So take a look and see which one is best for you. I recommended one of them for him, and I'll tell you now, like I said, I never like to really endorse anybody, but obviously Capital One and Credit Karma have an agreement or a contract of some sort, because it's always a Capital One card. They always recommend some Capital One card. And of course, you should know that there's not just one Capital One card out there. They have a plethora of cards out there. So they offer him a couple different options. So he had 3 options. So one of the options had an annual fee. I hate annual fees. I don't like annual fees. I don't care if you got a 300 credit score or 800 credit score. I hate an annual fee. So I said, let's not do the one that's the annual fee. I think the interest rate was a little bit lower on the one with the annual fee. But at the end of the day, if you don't even use the card, you still got to pay the annual fee. And I don't remember what it was, $35, $45. So I hate annual fees. We're not doing the annual fee thing. So then the next one was another card that had no annual fee. Interest rate was higher. I think somewhere around 26.99, something like that. So the interest rate was higher. So he had that one. And then there was a third card. Now I don't remember what the card was. So the one that he actually chose was, and within this Credit Karma 2, let me step back. Within the Credit Karma 2, they'll give you they'll give you what they think your chances are getting approved for a card, whether it's a regular card or whatever. So it's not really too much issue you have when it comes to a secure card about getting approved. You almost can't get denied for a secure card unless you don't have something that they require. You must have a bank account if you're going to get a secure card. So I've had people that were denied secure cards, couldn't figure out why in the world they were denied a secure card, and it's because they didn't have a bank account. So you need a bank account. Excuse me. So you need a bank account if you're going to have a secure card. So he picked the one without the annual fee. The interest rate was higher. Now, a lot of you guys are, out there thinking, man, I don't want to pay the high interest rate. That's ridiculous. I want to get the best deal I can. You got to see where you are and where you're starting. So if you've got a 585 credit score, you're not going to get the best interest rates out there. And for my clients, the point and purpose of getting a secure card is not for your buying power. So I don't want you out there, if you get a secure card, you give them $500. I don't want you out there spending $400 just because you have quote unquote credit on that card. That's not the point and purpose. The point and purpose is for it to help your credit score in the long run and immediately as well, but it's to help you with your credit score. So the interest rate doesn't matter because all you're going to do is spend $30 on it. As far as I'm concerned, you're going to spend $30. You're going to pay it off the next month, and that's going to help start to build some good credit history for you and a good account. So that's the point. So interest rate on $30 isn't a whole bunch of money at all. You can afford to eat that if you have to. You can afford to eat the interest rate on $30. But we do not want you out there, spending $500 on your security card with a 27% interest rate and then only paying a minimum of $10 a month. It'll take you 8-10 years to get out of that, that debt. That's not even worth it. But that's not the point of what we're doing with a secure card if you're one of my clients. You got issues, you got questions, you want to become a client of mine, you need to contact me. 800@creditscoreman.com. That's where you can email me. 800@creditscoreman.com. Email me there, and I'll put you on my calendar so we can talk this week. Okay. All right. So that's what Michael did. That's one of the best places I know to go ahead and simply look at, getting a secure card and getting it done. And so that's what I recommended he do. Now, there are other places. If your friends have Chase cards and Discover cards and whatnot, you can always go to any of those websites and look for security cards. If they have that option out there, then fill out the application and see about getting a security card. But Michael from Arkansas contacted me on IG, and you can too, 800@creditscoreman on IG. Thank you so very much, sir. I appreciate it. It was good going back and forth with you. Thank you so very much. You are officially a part of the 800 Credit Score Man Show family. All right. If you got questions, contact me. Send me an email at that same email address, 800@creditscoreman.com. Send it there, or contact me on any one of those social media sites as well. All right, so let's jump back into the end of this. We're going to end this off for you guys. So we talked about the steps that you need to do. We talked about making sure that you got all of your ducks in a row when you're trying to get your credit report and your score up, right? So I said before, you can't repair your credit in 30 days. Anybody that says that to you, if they're trying to solicit you for business or whatnot, run, hang up the phone, block their email, block them on Facebook, whatever it is. Excuse me. Can't be done in 30 days. Like simply, I don't care what issue you have. Even if you have an issue, you send in a dispute, it typically takes more than 30 days for them to investigate that dispute and have it pulled off your credit report. So just know that. When it comes down to your credit and debt utilization, I said we get back to that a little bit. Your credit utilization is 30% of your score. Ironically, you need to be at 30% of whatever your limits are to get the best or the most points put on your credit report. Now, lower the better. If you have a 10% debt utilization, or not debt utilization, credit utilization, then you're doing wonderful if you have that much. I think last week I even discussed not only how to do it by paying down your debt, but also by getting increases in your limits. If you didn't hear that show, go back and listen to last week's show as well. So you want to look at your debt utilization, your credit utilization. It is a major factor in your credit score. Now, of course, we already mentioned you got to pay on time, so that's a no-brainer. You got to make sure you pay on time as well to get that done. And then after that, you have to just maintain these things.